Hey everybody, welcome back to another Sons of Cinema review. My name is Ron, and today's review will be on the 2025 horror movie Trapped Inside My Sin. This movie is an hour and 39 minutes long. It's currently on Tubi if you want to check it out. It's directed by Vincent Velarde. It stars Brian Pollock and Marilyn Rodriguez. And let's get into the synopsis. So, like always, spoilers. This movie has a pre-title sequence, and in this scene, we see a family. There's a mother, a father, and a girl, maybe around 11, 12 years old, and it's at night, and they're sleeping, and the father suddenly wakes up, and rightfully so, because the door to his room does slam shut, and he wakes up, and he wakes the wife up, and she's kind of pissed at him, if anything, and he decides to go look around the house, and he doesn't see anything, so he keeps asking his wife where his meds are, and we don't know what his medication is for. We just know he keeps asking for his pills, and then he ends up seeing this demon woman in his home, and he attacks the demon woman, and she ends up killing him, but it was a hallucination. It was actually his wife who killed him because she attacked him, and then boom, we've got the title sequence. The next scene, we have another family who is moving to their new home, and they're on a road trip getting there, and they stop in a convenience store, and the father, he ends up seeing a demon inside the cashier at the convenience store. So it's kind of a weird little scene, but they press on. They get to their new home, and they they unpack, and they have dinner for the night, and their house is actually right next door to the first house where the wife killed her husband. And so coincidence, we don't know. And then we get a scene where the detectives are talking to the wife who killed her husband, and that scene kind of really goes nowhere. There's not really like an investigation or anything in this movie from the police point of view. And then we've got the husband who that night is having a nightmare, and in his nightmare his son is telling him, you know what you did, Dad. And he wakes up. The next day he takes his son fishing, and they go to this lake, and he ends up hallucinating and seeing this demon guy with a black hood on, and he kind of freaks out, and he tells the son, let's go, let's get out of here. So he goes back home. The next day he goes jogging. He sees another woman that basically tells him the same thing, like, you've got secrets, and we know you have secrets. And then she runs off, and we never see her again. Then again he's hallucinating more, and that night he hallucinates the demon in the black hoodie again in his home, and he tries to attack this demon, but it's actually his son. So he's hallucinating this demon, and he attacks his son, and they end up putting him in a psychiatric facility. And in this psychiatric facility, he meets the head doctor, whose advice is to find God. And this guy, you could basically call this doctor, you might as well call him Dr. Van Helsing, because he knows everything in this movie about everything except any kind of medical care. He doesn't partake in that at all. So he's telling Ben, the husband, to find God, and during Ben's stay in this psychiatric facility, he actually meets the wife of the that murdered her husband, and she kind of turns into a little demon and attacks him after they talk for a while, and the orderlies come in, take her off of him, and that's the last we see of her. I should also mention, because it's a pretty good scene, earlier on, as Ben is hallucinating and getting a little more dependent on medication and stuff like that before he is committed, he's going to couples therapy with his wife, but it's actually after the in the parking lot after the session when they have a little argument. It's probably, for me, the best part of the movie. We'll get into that later. Anyway, so he admits to the doctors after he talks to the priest and they keep peddling religion on him. He admits that he had an affair on his wife years ago. After that, I guess that's his big breakthrough moment, because then he's released. He goes home. His wife is pissed because he's told her about this affair, so she's still angry. Of course, he wants to just move forward like a typical guy, right? Or actually, like anyone who cheats on anybody. The one who cheated usually was like, let's move on. Let's press on. Yeah. Anyway, so then Ben becomes possessed by a demon. And then this movie kind of turns into like The Exorcist. You've got the doctor who's helping the priest with this exorcism. They tie up Ben like he's about to get interrogated, and they start to perform this exorcism. And during this exorcism, Ben ends up transforming and looking like Sergeant Kabuki Man, and he rips the priest's eyes out, kills the priest, then suddenly Ben's okay, and that's that. And the last scene of the movie is the dude in the black hoodie, the demon. We see his face. That's the end of the movie. Before I get into the things I like and didn't like, I want to say I understand that people work very hard on these movies, and this is low budget, and we've got actors you've never heard of. We've got people working hard that are behind the scenes. I get it. This is nothing personal, but I'm going to press on now. First, I'm going to go with the things I liked. The things I liked in this movie were the effects at times were okay. And then the fight that I was explaining before between the husband and the wife out in the parking lot after their therapy session, spot on. It was a great scene. Like, just watching two people, it's exactly what you would think if you've ever been in a relationship and you've had arguments with your significant other. It's spot on. That's where the likes end. Now, the things I didn't like, there was a lot of pointless chatter in this movie. A lot of drawn out scenes that drag the fuck on. 90% of this movie is boring. The acting wasn't great. There's the scene where Ben is trying to get mental health help, and they're not giving him any kind of mental health techniques or therapy or anything. It's all God this and God that, and that's the whole premise of this movie. Is it seemed like this was a Christian movie with some horror elements like sprinkled in. He's telling him you're going to want to develop a relationship with God and cut out all the evil. And so they're ruining this man's life. These demons, they want to murder him. They want him to murder his family because he cheated on his wife. The plot is goofy. It's ridiculous. And just, it's goofy. And look, I'm a glutton for punishment, but this movie is rough. This movie's fucking taxing. I had to partake in prescribed medications to get through this thing. Boy, I want to say, like I said, I know everyone worked hard on this movie, and I apologize. It's nothing personal. I'm sure you guys worked really hard on this, but this movie just ain't it. It's not even so bad it's good. It's just bad. The exposition, it just goes on. The scenes go on way too long. You could have cut 25 minutes out of this movie and it would have maybe tightened it up a little bit. There's just a lot of scenes that you don't need in this movie. Boy, and I got questions like, who the fuck is the demon in the black hood? Like, is he just there because the guy cheated on his wife? And like the story on him, you don't get any answers. This movie is not for me, and I will never watch this movie again. watch at your own risk. Anyway, I hate doing reviews like this because I feel like crapola, because people worked hard and you want to say nice things about it, but there's just nothing there. And that's the review for me, man. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, and I will see you all next time. Take it easy. Peace.